Rando Convo.
And we're back.
What's going on, bro?
Would have guessed us high chairs. Not me. Oh, bro, I didn't see you there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, bro.
Long time no see.
Long time no see for all the listeners out there. You listen to this, I really appreciate it. It has been a ride that we're back on.
I like to think it's been a journey, to say the least. It's been almost 2 years. Officially, I checked.
A lot's happened.
To say the least.
But nothing has to change about the podcast.
I like to think we're back like we never left.
Right.
Wait, are they going to see this thing behind me? They're not going to see this thing behind me. It's fine.
I set up a nice little display called the Rando Convo. I might pull it out at the end of the episode, but the way our chair is set up, it's not set up.
They're not going to see it. It's fine. It's fine.
We're going to get the setup down later.
Wait. I completely forgot. We're doing random thoughts?
Of course.
Are you starting?
You asked about it. Why don't you start?
All right, I'll start. Hello, good people. We are back. If you missed us, sorry we took so long. If this is your first listen ever, welcome. You have a lot to catch up on. The hiatus was fun, but the show must go on. And if you're having a bad day or like going through something, just remember there are people that learned how to drive in Maryland. That is it. My random thought.
Interesting. Mine's on a little more, not upbeat, but I'd say more encouragement, like things you can, kind of strive towards.
Word.
If there's any like young listeners or any, anybody who has a son, daughter,
word, bars of knowledge.
Get them into tech. Get them into tech, especially if you're black.
Okay.
I feel like there's not enough black people represented in tech. And I feel like it is the perfect avenue for our culture.
I like it.
Just because my reasoning is I feel like the tech industry is the one place where if you have like a felony, you have a misdemeanor, if you've messed up in any way, you can still get a job.
I did not think that was the angle here, but I like it.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally had a job. And a dude said, like, I've had a felony. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Still has a job. You can't be a doctor and have a felony. You can't be a lawyer and have a felony. Now,
definitely probably not a lawyer.
Right.
Doctor, I'm not sure.
It probably depends on the felony.
Definitely depends on the felony.
But it's like, and the barrier of entry into those jobs is so high.
If you're actually listening here, can you answer the question somewhere?
Please.
Anywhere? Can you be a doctor and have a felony? Or is that like
there are doctors out there.
I don't know if we have it. It's besides the point. Continue what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like that's an element of it, but also the fact that there's so many tech jobs that the barrier of entry is you don't have to go to college. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you're studying, find a YouTube channel, go to your local library. There's just so many avenues for you to learn this stuff where you can go to the library and learn all about the human body and everything. You're not going to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's a lower barrier of entry if you can't afford college or if you're just like community college. I feel like it's a perfect avenue in terms of making a lot of money without a lot of investment.
I like it.
So
great TED Talk. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
Mine was better, but I like yours.
Oh, I like yours too.
Thank you.
I like mine better.
Okay, well, personal thought.
But
all right.
I like the fact that you're here. I like the fact that we have a lot to talk about.
On high chairs.
I know.
Is
this the first? I feel like we've done the first. I feel like we've done the high chairs before.
We're gonna have to watch the tape. I don't remember ever sitting in a high chair.
The first one.
You think the very first?
Chairs.
No, bro. I was very comfortable in the very first pod.
I feel like the first one was high chairs.
You know what's funny? Those are audio only, I believe. So, well, no, the first one, no, we were in chairs definitely. But the first one I think is a video. But a lot of them are audio only. So I don't know how we're gonna figure it out. But
we might.
It's been a while, but I don't think we've ever been in high chairs. But nonetheless, what are we starting off with? The recap?
Let's start with the recap.
All right. Nick, what has happened between now and September 2022? What's up? How's life?
I have Ace.
There we go. That's changed.
I feel like Ace might have been like new when we first like took the break.
Yes.
Like maybe the last episode, he was like my new dog.
This is true.
But he's now like just
part like we're talking about
him. He's part of me now.
And he's walking around, but I don't think they're going to be able to see him.
Like he has a little bit of respect to say, I'm not about to wild out while doing a podcast. I feel like when we first started this, no way.
Nope.
He's gotten better. You know,
Nothing but faith.
he's a good dog, and so like that's the main thing.
He got in
You
the
know,
dog.
still been doing my thing.
Yeah, I feel like he moved a couple times.
Moved a couple times in a really good spot. Still
There we
in
go.
Laurel, but the main thing, just working. And this is the year for me of certs.
I like it.
I have 2 certs this year. Plan on getting 2 more, and I just said 29, just sacrificing it just to get as much done while I have a job where I can, kind of have the time to study,
I like it. It's
and
a plan.
then get these certs, and then get a job where I have no time at all but making a lot of money.
The life.
That's the goal. That's to me. What
Okay.
you been on, bro?
Man, I'm a lot in a little bit of time. I like to think I've moved a couple times. Well, actually, once I believe. Yeah, I've moved once. Still in Northern Virginia, but different location. Same job, still getting money. Real estate things going well. Trying to get my real estate license still, almost there. Funny enough, I lost weight, gained it back, but that's life.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a beautiful thing.
Same thing.
That's a funny life process. I like to think I realized I don't actually like the gym at all.
I hate it. That's why, look, y'all can't see. I have all my weightlifting equipment. I have a whole bunch of video game, workout games. I do VR working out.
You got to make it as fun as possible.
I go to the gym once a week.
There we go.
And then I play basketball.
You got to find something consistent to do that you enjoy.
But I could not just go to the gym every day. There's something
Consistent
about, I don't know what it is. There's something about it where I'm like, I just don't want to be here.
Consistent weightlifting is not something that's fun unless you have a personal or set goal, I believe.
Right.
And if the personal set goal is to just stay in shape, quote unquote, it's gonna be a lot harder than you think. At least for me. So I hate the gym. Trying to find other ways to stay in shape. We're figuring it out. But yeah, I like to think I've traveled. I've been to Jamaica and Canada. Both fun.
First time?
In Jamaica, yes. Canada, no.
Okay.
First time being in Canada and actually liking it though.
Okay. I've never been to Canada.
Mixed opinions.
Okay.
But
where'd you go?
Vancouver this time.
Oh, okay.
The last time I went to somewhere on the eastern side of Canada, and not a good trip personally. So
I want to go to Toronto.
I haven't been, but I've heard mixed things.
I heard it's a city.
Aren't they all?
I heard it's a city.
But yeah.
Matt told me that.
No further comments. I like to think I've grown a lot in the last 2 years. It's really a year and some change, but I'm calling it 2 years. And the difference between 2022 and 2024 is a lot. Not like a grave amount, but in a weird way, a lot.
A sizable amount. I feel
That's the best way to put that.
Look, growth is that's all we're striving towards.
I like to think that's all I can do.
And yeah, I feel like I've grown a bit. I feel like there's always room to grow even more. I want to make 2024 the year where it's I look back on that okay, that's where things got started.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. I want my 2024 to be better than Drake's. I really do.
If this is a segue, Nick, I got to give it to you. This is a great segue.
I feel like being Drake definitely is it's good being Drake.
Naturally.
But there is a level of damn, that's a lot of shame.
I like to think Drake has it better than a lot of individuals in this world.
Yeah.
A very vast amount. But let's be honest, he is not having a great year.
No.
Just not, sometimes not your year.
And honestly, I feel like I'm on the conservative end of oh, he got cooked. Because I do feel on some level it's not like he invited this. It's not like he started this. He got baited into this.
Now, Nick, what are we talking about here?
In terms of the entire genesis of the beat. So obviously, if you don't know, if you live under something.
I'm absolutely certain there's people out there who have no idea that Drake and Kendrick are beefing.
I feel like if they don't know that they're beefing, they don't know who they are.
Fair enough.
It's
just not in their realm of information.
Right. They've heard of Drake.
I've had coworkers who literally had no idea what's happening.
Me too.
So
so it's not the there might be some
news.
people. I don't feel like our viewers fall into that.
I like to think
I would assume
anyone watching this has a semi idea that Drake and Kendrick Lamar had a little bit of
a scuffle,
a skirmish.
I feel like it was
what do Europeans
as
call beef?
Embarrassing an L as you can take from a rap beef standpoint.
We gotta break this down though, Nick. Because when you said he didn't I feel like Drake caused this on his own self.
What do you do?
Years of sneak dissing.
They both been doing that.
That's fine.
And I feel like Kendrick
Doesn't make
just
him innocent.
chose the time. He said it's time. He
That's
just said
true.
it's time.
All I'm
And
saying is Drake is not innocent. It's not like he didn't.
no,
do
I don't
anything.
think he's innocent,
No,
but I do
grown man.
think that like it'd be one thing if like he like, oh, I'm gonna diss Kendrick, and then Kendrick responds and
You
tells
can only sneak diss so much and get away with it. My personal opinion.
maybe it's to
Drake's
me,
making a whole career out of it.
he has. I would say he's definitely not faultless in how it ended up. And I feel like he had one genuinely good song in the whole entire like beat.
What's your favorite song in this beef? About Drake.
Family Matters.
All right, fair enough.
I think that's a genuinely good song.
It is. It's not bad. I like to think of it in the terms of
Yeah.
like beef records. Song wise, it's actually a pretty good song.
I think so. It has a lot of beat switches, like 3 songs.
It is. It's a very Drake-esque response.
But I didn't like Push Ups.
I thought it was fun for the moment, but it did not age well.
I thought that Tailor Made Freestyle
Shouldn't have dropped.
it was a cool idea.
Shouldn't have dropped.
It's almost like he went to ChatGPT and said, "Yo, what's a good diss track that Drake could do to Kendrick Lamar?" And ChatGPT's like, "Use Kendrick's idols as a way to diss him."
He severely misunderstood how the public was going to take this one, and I get what he was trying to do, right? Because Kendrick has a history of embodying idols and things of that nature and famous idol people, but like Snoop Dogg's literally alive.
There's also the element of it sparked the conversation about, oh, is AI okay? It's like, this is not AI. He's literally just changed his voice to sound like Tupac. And it's like, because I can't even unhear Drake.
I literally didn't even want to get into that conversation because I was like, this is not even the time for it. I'm trying to see what Kendrick about to do. And personal opinion, Kendrick had the 2 best songs out of these disses in terms of Euphoria and Not Like Us. The order, personal opinion, Not Like Us, then
I don't
Euphoria.
think Kendrick dropped a bad song.
It's not the problem here. Yeah. Oh, look, biggest loser of this beef. Who do you got?
I mean, the biggest loser is obviously Drake.
It's J. Cole.
How?
What do you mean? I lost the most. So, in my opinion, Drake not only had to go against Kendrick, he went against about 4 or 5 other artists, Metro Boomin included.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually stood his ground very well, which always had I had to give plaudits to that, right? To have niggas as an entire hip-hop industry almost gang up and band against you, that's a respectable feat.
I don't think he defended himself well at all. Like
versus Kendrick, no, but I like to think he got his shots in for everybody.
I mean, he had these little, I feel like these little jabs.
That's
it's like, Metro, stick to the drums.
Sometimes
like, okay,
that's just jabbing a nigga up.
But it's like, that's not like impressive. Just we give 1 bar for niggas. Like
to take on more than one entity, I like to think with creativity, in my opinion.
I don't think he dropped a single, like besides Family Matters, I don't think any of the other ones, because
Push-Ups was definitely about more than one nigga.
No, I'm saying I didn't like Push-Ups.
Okay, that's separate then.
And it's also, he has had like individual bars for them. You know
this is what I'm saying.
Drake, and I don't think he did a good, like none of the bars were like, oh,
Drake really at least stepped up to the plate and fought. J. Cole dropped the diss track, said it was a warning shot, took it back, said that shit hurt his soul and couldn't let him sleep. And then say, yeah, I'm done. I lost respect for him as a person.
I feel like J. Cole was in an impossible situation.
He didn't have to delete the diss track or take it back.
I do think deleting the diss track was a little wild. I don't understand that. But at the end of the day, like, he was not gonna get into that beef. He just wasn't.
Looking back at
where it went, he was not going.
Looking back at it, this was not his beef, right? It wasn't meant for him.
But he had to respond.
That generally didn't like each other.
But he had to respond. He was on the song. Like, honestly, if you listen to Like That, he doesn't ever really talk about J. Cole.
He mentions him, but he doesn't come at him.
Does he? I think he mentions them. Like, he talks about like
the big 3. You know what he's talking about.
But I feel like it was an impossible situation because if he doesn't respond, niggas look like a bitch. All the same.
This is all I'm saying, right?
But it's like he really wasn't the one who was getting the heat.
Send a warning shot, right? Let it ride. Kendrick will come back with some smoke. Now you got a decision to make, but you can't just bow like that at your own festival.
I feel like Kendrick wasn't trying to be on some rap beef shit. He was trying to be on some. I want to expose this nigga.
I really feel like this beef for Kendrick was all about Drake, but he used the big three thing to start it, right?
But like, he's not trying to get into a lyrical miracle battle with J. Cole. Like, that's not what he was trying to do. And I feel like J. Cole got a call, and they were
it
like,
was for Schoolboy Q too. That's the funniest thing.
Right.
He was like, "It's you, bro."
You misunderstood what was happening.
Fair play. I don't like how J. Cole handled it, and I feel like he lost.
I don't love it, but it's the most J. Cole thing you could possibly do.
J. Cole's career is not going to suffer. J. Cole's fans are always going to love him. All this, that. He's going to make great music from here on out.
Right.
My personal opinion is J. Cole handled this the worst out of the three niggas. He really did. Drake tried. Drake didn't win, but Drake tried. And obviously Kendrick won. So also Kendrick concert, June 19th. I'm gonna be there. Not at the concert, but mentally I will be there.
I don't know, man. I just don't think that. I think J. Cole did what we all expected him to do.
I didn't time us. I'm sorry.
I mean, that makes it a Rando Convo episode. That's the seal.
Terrible person. Continue what you were saying.
Let me cut the computer back on.
Yeah,
but that's a staple.
Nick,
that's expected.
While I personally didn't think about it till just now, I like to think I have better expectations for myself.
Maybe on the second episode you'll remember. But any final thoughts? I mean, I think let's talk about maybe the other niggas who were involved, because ASAP was there.
Is that Ding gonna be in the pod?
Is
that Ding gonna be in the pod? No. Oh, that'd have been curious. All right. I mean, we could talk about ASAP. I feel like no one has a bigger role to play here than Kendrick. Obviously, Rick Ross was beefing with Drake because apparently Drake said a cease and desist on French Montana record. Mm-hmm. And, Rick Ross was standing up for his mans, which kudos to Rick Ross, but honestly, nobody needed that. Like you said, ASAP was beefing because he kept trying to sneak the Rihanna thing.
ASAP had 4 bars about it on the Metro tape. Also,
he did. I'm not going to say like he didn't.
Can we talk about Metro too?
Metro honestly is the biggest antagonist here, and I love it.
He's an instigator.
He is.
Didn't say a goddamn word, just a sample.
It's the power.
Just found a sample.
Metro was almost like an evil DJ Khaled here, where he's not gonna say anything crazy, right? But he's gonna put together enough that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that nigga onto something.
I mean, the albums literally like
these are anti-Drake projects.
The fact that he has Kendrick, obviously like that, obviously, and the success of like that is honestly the other thing about this beat that's crazy is Kendrick got 2 number ones. I think he literally had 2 number ones.
No, it's just a shame what hate can do for a nigga career.
Like, he definitely
it's a shame.
He came up.
You can't do this with positivity.
So he got like that going number 1.
Yeah.
And then he got J. Cole on the second album. It's like just the timing of all. I'm like, this nigga is
You could
evil.
argue that one of the best songs on the first album is Everyday Hustle. Rick Ross's moment to hate Drake himself. Like, come on, bro. We gotta sit here and acknowledge Metro's role in this.
We'll talk about Metro later. We'll talk about that album because it's also the fact that you said it's DJ Khaled thing.
He's like evil DJ Khaled.
These albums are better than anything DJ Khaled's ever.
Hey, bro, when you gonna put together a tape to hate on one nigga, you gotta make it a good tape.
Good ass.
And like I said, you can't do this with no positivity. But I feel like, look, ASAP, he did his thing trying to defend his woman, you feel me? Drake's been sneak dissing for a while. Yeah. This always is going to come back to Drake and sneak dissing. I promise you it is. I mean Pusha T was nowhere to be found, but we all know.
I respect the fact that Drake will respond.
This is true.
In tracks. I do have to respect that. It's just, because I thought Duppy Freestyle is a little underrated.
It's not the problem of Duppy Freestyles. What came after Duppy Freestyle that makes Duppy Freestyle underrated?
But I thought Duppy Freestyle was a good diss song.
But you don't remember the disses that lost.
You
don't. That's just not.
And honestly, I feel like nobody's gonna remember that Drake had the last word in the diss.
No, because the Hard Part 6 is terrible. My opinion. He starts talking at the end. He literally stops rapping and just starts talking. He said, "Let me know when we'll get to the facts."
And he was like, "I'm going to wait for a while," or something like that.
He says, "Back to the summer music." Hey, bro, you gotta let it be.
And also, him rapping on BBL Drizzy.
I thought that was funny, but not the right move.
It was not good. In terms of musically, that entire song experience was terrible.
I actually didn't hate the song.
I actually hated the song.
Really, I didn't hate the song, but
I actually don't mind sexy. I don't mind her music. That song, I
wasn't
was
your
like,
favorite.
because like I only listened to it to hear the BBL Drizzy part, and
The,
so
s-
having to listen to the
the
whole
song
song
actually kind of
before
catchy,
that, nah.
but nonetheless, I thought it was funny. Not the right move personally for me, but
Mhm.
like he wasn't winning no matter what he did. In my opinion, he wasn't gonna win. After the combination of Euphoria and Not Like Us, it was gonna be
Honestly,
a very tough win.
in my opinion, if it had ended after Euphoria, I still have Kendrick winning. It was honestly everything else was
He
overkill.
wasn't winning, and like you said, it just kept getting worse.
Because even if he dropped Family Matters, I still can't ignore the fact that you dropped 2 diss tracks I don't really like, and Kendrick dropped Euphoria. And I think Euphoria is the best song out of all those songs.
I like to think in totality of a song, Euphoria is the best, but every time I listen to Not Like Us, I get more and more turned.
Not Like Us is the one we're gonna remember.
It's
That's
truly,
Hit 'Em Up.
It's truly gonna be
That
on
is
the
Hit
radio
'Em
for
Up 2024.
no funny shit. Kendrick actually dropped the song of the summer. It was on accident.
That song is it's a really well made summer hit.
And it happens to be a Drake diss.
Like the fact when I heard it put on TNT, I was like, oh no.
It's
I
a
was
wrap.
like,
You see
oh,
Drake sent them
no.
OVO jackets. Trying to
I
get them
didn't
to
see
stop
that. I didn't
playing.
see
Nah,
that.
you have to look it up. He sent the
Oh,
ESPN team
no.
OVO jackets. He's trying to get them to stop playing the song.
I feel like Drake needs to make the
Poor
catchiest
Drake.
song ever made.
It's not the right time. I feel like
if he makes really good music again, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity. If he starts making real, I feel like even if I like For All the Dogs, I like it. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's one of my favorite Drake.
I feel like
projects.
at this current moment, and that's why I say it's not the right time. I feel like Drake got to come out singing again. He come out
That's what I'm
rapping
saying.
again, we gonna have some problems. But like, I feel like Drake don't want to like admit defeat just yet. Obviously, he knows he lost. I don't think it's that deep of a serious situation for him personally.
I feel like I feel like this definitely stung a little bit because you can
All
say
else hurt.
because the
All else
Pusha
hurt.
T thing. It's like I know that was like a bad look, but I don't think he truly like nobody's like opinion of him changed.
It
that
didn't
much.
stop.
Even if you like Drake, and I don't think he's a pedophile. I just don't think that.
I'm not gonna go on record trying to defend this nigga because it comes out later that he is. I'm gonna look stupid.
Maybe I'm saying at the moment with the facts that I have right now, I don't think he is problematic. I think that he's just made really dumb decisions on camera. Like I just think like it's just he's had a lot of bad.
I'm not even gonna
looks.
get into all that.
I'm just saying.
Drake, I feel like Drake wants to be in control, right? He still wants to keep this top dog mantra, his energy. If he comes out and his next tape is just singing and shit, and he doesn't get to be the tough guy that he portrays himself to be, I feel like that's what's gonna hurt his reputation.
I feel like he did that with Honestly Nevermind, and it's like that was okay. I like that album, but it's like
it wasn't following.
But that's literally what he did. He literally just made an album with him singing.
Yeah, but it wasn't coming off of him losing a very historic hip hop beef.
I feel like just making good music. I don't think it just has to be.
If he would have dropped Honestly Nevermind like right now, niggas would be laughing at his ass.
You said laughing at him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm like. He needs to make something just genuinely good. I don't care if it's all singing. I don't care if it's all rapping.
It got to be good though.
I think it has the quality.
Take
of
Care
it
Part 2, baby. Let's go.
Honestly, like if he said nothing was the same, I would be hyped.
If you're reading This Is Too Late, Part 2 would be a
like
classic.
I feel like
what's his name? Something Miller. What's his name?
Quentin Miller.
Go find Quentin, bro.
Oh
go get Quentin, bro.
Still
Go. You know Quentin's probably still mad about the situation, but go get Quentin, bro.
Quentin's probably still there.
He's there. What is Quentin doing?
He has a whole army.
Quentin, I know you still there, bro.
Quentin's probably there a party.
If you're reading This Is Too Late, change the game again, bro. Y'all got this.
Energy.
Come on.
Drake's never made a song harder than that.
Come on. Harder than that? I don't know, but we're going to talk about a different topic. Nonetheless. So,
any final words? I mean, I think that for the most part, we agree. Kendrick won.
Oh, Kendrick won.
We disagree about J. Cole.
Yeah,
but,
apparently.
You know.
It is what it is.
Music.
I like to think it was, you know what? God bless this year for music. And I think that's going to get into the next topic.
So, I'm not disagreeing with you about music. And
I think 2024 has been a great year for music.
I think it's been good. I think I have missed some of the projects. So maybe you can remind me about some of these projects that have come out that you think makes up the year.
Look, if you haven't listened to Willow's new tape, go listen to it. Personal favorite on the year.
Okay.
Vince Staples' tape was smooth as hell. Honestly, I feel like if you're not into like today's modern scene of music, Vince Staples' tape is actually gonna be such a good like reset for you, if that makes sense. I
Okay.
feel like he's dropping like, and it's not a really like, everyone's dropping these 20-song albums. This tape's 30 minutes long, and it's just a good listen. Oh my gosh, it's a good listen. So, and my personal favorite of 2024, I'm just stating now because that's what we're talking about, 2024 music. Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips, a thorough listen, a good time, good energy, up
His
and down,
best
all
is
over the
Blank
place.
Face for sure.
Those have some of my favorite Schoolboy Q songs, but this might be my favorite complete project from Schoolboy Q. Totality, talking start to finish. I love the direction. I love the pace. I love all of it. I really do.
It's a great album. I probably would say it's my favorite hip hop album in general this year.
There we go.
I think it's up there with. I really like Blank Face because I give Blank Face a lot of credit for being like 18 songs and all being fire.
It's a great project.
I feel like Blue Lips is shorter.
It is.
I feel like the highs are not Blank Face, but I think they're really high compared to his last album.
Okay.
I thought Crash Talk was okay.
I
think
thought it was
this is
a
an
little
improvement
all
on
over
that,
the
for
place.
sure.
This
Absolutely.
was a story almost.
Yeah, it's definitely back to basics with him. It definitely feels like it's in line with the oxymorons, habits and contradictions. I think it's up there. Like if anybody told me this is their favorite Schoolboy album, I can't hate on that.
I would not be mad at you.
It's a great album. What's on Yearn? That's my shit.
That is a great song.
Great song. Just
True.
incredible production. Because honestly, I feel like the producers, it's like, it's mostly just the people he's always been working
Truly
with.
didn't look.
But I feel like they all leveled up.
But I had a
Obviously,
great time.
Thank God for Me. That's probably the best beat on the album, in my opinion, just for how like adventurous it is.
I would say Cooties is a great song. Movie's not even him, but goddamn, it's a good
Yeah.
feature.
The Ab Soul song, I like that one too.
Great. I like how he ended the project.
It's a nice. I think it's like maybe 35 minutes. It's not a long. It's not a
I
long.
think it's a lot
listen.
longer than that, actually.
Really?
I think it's a lot. I'm gonna have to look back, but I think it's a lot longer.
It's like 13 songs, right?
Nah.
Maybe I'm tripping. But I really liked it. I really like that album. Probably my favorite hip hop album of the year.
I don't think you're far off. I think it's closer to 15. Let's find out. I went to the wrong app.
What? While you're waiting, while we're trying to find that,
Yes.
what else have you been listening to?
Bro, you know I've been listening to these Metro tapes.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked
18
about them.
tracks.
Yeah, we talked about them. Oh, wow.
Yeah, told you.
Now let's do it again.
Hey, bro, do what you got to do.
Now
But
let's do it
nah, these
again.
Metro tapes, when I tell you, it might have actually set the. It's almost like the rolling snowball, right? That gets bigger and bigger. That's
I was
these
so
tapes.
happy for him because I liked both his albums before. I
Mhm.
like Not All Heroes Wear Capes. I
love
like that one.
project.
And then I also what was the last one? The superheroes and whatever.
Superheroes vs. Villains.
Right. I like that one. And then also like the Spider-Man.
Yep, good
tape.
project. I
The
love all his
prob-
tapes with 21.
The problem is there's so many like not great songs on them as well. It's like they have good runs, but then
Mhm.
you'll encounter like a couple songs where I'm like, I could have gone without this.
Yeah.
This album, because he has Future, it pretty much also serves as Future's albums.
It's a Future and Metro tape.
But it feels like it's a Future project because obviously Metro doesn't rap. So it's like it almost feels like an extension of like Evil.
It's a Future and Metro tape, bro. I don't know how else to play this.
That's what I'm saying. Like because but I feel like when Metro made those tapes, that was before he had his albums.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Metro has learned how to like kind of tailor the beats to like one cohesive project.
He's a evolved producer.
For sure.
Since I feel like they
Like I
last
think
really
these are
worked
his
together.
best produced albums in terms of like
You can make that argument.
front
yeah.
to back.
There's not a bad beat on any project.
And it's like they're so different, especially the second one. The second one almost is it's not Hendrix 100%,
I'm
but
not-
it leans in that
I'm
side.
not as crazy as the second one as I am the first one, but to give us two good projects like that and have them so excited, because I feel like a lot of artists could give us that much music and we would just get overloaded. They spaced them out so well. There were two different vibes, and the way hip hop benefited from those two projects alone, couldn't ask for more.
You can make a case that we're gonna remember those projects just because that's the start of the Kendrick Drake beef. Like you can make
Truly.
a case. Like it
starts on those
because
tapes.
the album is also super quality. It's not like a throw. It's not like Control, where Control just came out and it wasn't on any album.
I think it's almost like a shame that like the beef kind of came from these tapes because the beef almost outshined the tapes, but people need to remember how good not We Don't Trust You is. It's really good, like a phenomenal
Top
features
5
all the
Future
way.
project to me.
Look, say what you gotta say. I'm not even gonna argue with that.
I know
statement.
you're not the biggest.
No,
that's the thing because you're not even the biggest
but
Future
that
fan.
tape is hard, bro. You can't argue with the facts.
I just thought about that. I forgot about that.
I'm not, bro. That's why I really didn't care about the second one. He started singing. I was like, all right, bro, you got me. But there's still songs on there that like This Sunday, Love Bad Bitches,
Cinderella, bro.
Cinderella's not the first one, but you absolutely.
Oh, you're talking about the first? Oh, yeah. The second one, I like. We Still Don't Trust You. Yeah. The Weeknd's on like
the Weeknd absolutely did it for me on every feature. I was there, bro. I'm a big Weeknd fan. Y'all got it. Y'all figured out the formula. Future, Metro, Weeknd. They could drop a tape with just those 3 niggas. I'll be there.
Did you listen to it without knowing the features ahead of time?
Yeah, I always do.
Like, just hearing like when I was like, is this Weeknd for
a fourth
time?
I like to go into pretty much all products I listen to blind. I feel like it's just a better experience.
I like it because I feel like when they dropped it, they didn't put the.
I didn't even
features.
look. I just hit play.
When the artists put the features on them, I don't care. I listen on Spotify.
I feel like a lot of artists, especially up and coming ones, will like to list their features at a time to get you more involved in the projects. But I'm a much bigger fan of you just dropping the project and
Travis
not telling me shit, bro. Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah, no, he actually doesn't do that ever. I feel like I like to think the biggest pioneer of this is Beyonce in terms of just dropping projects and not saying a word about them.
I like Kanye too. I feel like Pablo, we didn't have the track list, but like
Beyonce did it first though. No,
I'm not saying she didn't do it first. I'm saying Kanye also as well.
Yeah, I think he didn't do that for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but he started doing it afterwards.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's definitely fair.
Yeah. I think Yeezus he didn't know much about going into. He just kind of
we didn't have the track list for Yeezus.
Yeah, he just got Yeezus. Which, whew, what a tape.
Honestly, not a lot of features on Yeezus.
No, but I like the
essential ones. But obviously, Chief Keef.
The features you enjoyed. Like I forget who the dude is. But the reggae feature on
What are you talking about? On a minute.
Yeah,
I forgot his name, but yeah,
Zeus, I think it is. But
yeah,
that man showed up.
Revolutionary project.
Really changed the game. But no, I feel like we don't get Metro without Yeezus. I don't know how to explain that. Really don't get Travis.
You don't get most niggas without Yeezus.
Look, bro.
And 808s.
Oh my god. Either way.
What's some other music, bro? And I'll list some of mine.
Oh shit. Look, Chief Keef dropped, but if you ain't listening, you ain't listening. But honestly, it's happy to hear Chief Keef just still making music. And I can only really listen to what I listen to. I know you've been listening to projects outside of hip hop. Obviously, Kaytranada dropped. I would first listen, not too crazy about it, but the songs I did like, I really did like. I like the Charles Gambino song. I like the Anderson .Paak feature. I thought that was great. Pink Panthers did her thing. Big Pink Panthers fan.
Also, Childish redropped his album.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the first version better.
I hated the mixing on the first version. So anything that was just a regular recording, I was gonna accept. I'm glad that album doesn't exist. I think it still like exists in one format.
I definitely have it. That's to all you niggas who download shit illegally. You get it once you get a project.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I have the first version. I liked how raw it was. I liked how planned out it seemed, but still like not complete. I think the new one was the final version. I didn't like his final version.
You know what? If the old version just replaced the song names with the actual names.
You're so weird, bro.
That's it. Because honestly, I could always forget. Like, all right, is this one?
Oh, I could always remember.
I always knew which one. I think it's called "To Be Haunted" now. Like, that's my favorite song on the whole album. I knew which one that one was. That's the fourth song.
Is that the 21 feature?
The one before that.
Okay.
Well, so I like that song, but everything else I never.
Yeah, really I literally have to remember the timestamps. Essentially, that's the best.
Thank you, Childish, for re-releasing that.
Boo.
Any other albums?
Gunna dropped, wasn't too crazy on it. I think, I don't honestly explain it. So Gunna post like Snitch Scandal has like almost kind of like rejuvenated his career as a rapper, but I don't think he's trying as hard to make the songs that he used to make, and I like the songs that he used to make, if that makes sense.
I think Gunna's just Gunna at the end of the day. I know it's simple to say, but I just feel like every time I hear him, I'm like, it's Gunna.
The songs aren't bad. It's just a lot less production doing the work and a lot more Gunna trying to show off that he can like still do his thing. And I don't like it. I want him to be just like make music.
It's like I don't expect another Spinning Addiction. I just need another one like that. I feel like that's a lot to ask.
All right, whatever.
I feel like also, I'm not saying Thug was involved in his projects, but I feel like he sounds different since Thug's been away.
You're not wrong about that, actually. Not at all.
And it makes me remind me how much I miss Thug's music.
Hey, bro, it is what it is. J. Cole dropped the tape.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
I liked it till he took the disc back.
Oh my god. There's still like 14 other songs.
Hey, bro, I liked it till he took the
There's
disc
still
back.
14.
Every time I listen to that tape, it just reminds me how disappointed I am.
How'd you think about the other songs then?
They're good.
What was your favorite? You remember?
The one with Cameron, actually.
That's a good pick. I like that song too.
Uh,
I think I like Crocodile Tears a lot.
Okay.
That's a really good one. I think if I were ranking it in J. Cole albums, it would definitely rank towards the bottom for sure.
The one with Central C was tough, but no, I didn't really
That's a
take
good
it too
song.
seriously as a project.
Right.
And then he went and reneged his disc, so I took it less seriously as a project.
We can agree that was not a good move.
All right, thank you.
It was just not a good move.
But yeah, what you been listening to, Nick? I know you've been veering off of hip hop
Yeah, so
for whatever reason.
the first album of Consequence that I listened to this year,
Consequence. Why you say it like that?
because it was the first like big album.
Okay.
Cowboy Carter.
Fair enough.
So I really got into that album. Like, I always fuck with Beyonce albums, but this one was a little different because
It was a country themed album, no?
and it wasn't at the same time. I wasn't expecting it to veer off country so many times.
Okay.
To the point where it's like, if I showed like some country music fan this, I don't think they call it country. I just don't. There's some country songs on there, but I do think it's more of like it's still R&B.
It's a Beyonce album.
She had a Beatles song on there
Did she?
called Blackbird. And that got me into a rabbit hole of me just listening to like all the Beatles. Like I've listened to Beatles before. I know I had like my songs that I fuck with, but I wasn't like super into their music.
Interesting.
Spent an entire month just like listening almost exclusively to them.
Wow.
So I thank Beyonce for that, truth be told. I've been listening to a lot of old music.
Okay.
But in terms of like the new stuff in 2024 that I've listened to, I'm just going through my list. Billie Eilish, she dropped a couple of weeks ago.
I heard.
Really good.
I heard that she dropped. I didn't hear the project.
If you like good production, highly recommend, because the production on there it's not hip hop. It's like if you like Prince, there's a lot of Prince influence. I
I
feel
don't think
on
I've
a lot
ever
of
heard
beats.
Billie Eilish and Prince mentioned in the same sentence. Not gonna lie.
You hear it today. There's a bunch of songs that have a really good groove to them. I would say if you like, good production with like sultry vocals, she's a good listen. Charlie XCX, really good album. If you like hard hitting bass,
Okay.
looking through.
Harder bass songs. Charlie XCX or DJ Mustard?
Well, I say Charlie XCX.
The more you know.
Where
Okay.
It's honestly like pop, like in that sector. It really is just like it's not EDM per se, but it's using that type of like drum patterns, if that makes
EDM.
sense.
Okay. All right. That is.
Like she makes some hard beats.
I definitely had a popular phase. I don't know if it's still popular. White
Cudi
people
drop.
kept me hip. Are we?
You know,
That was this year?
yeah, it was a sure.
Oh wow.
It was okay.
I came and went.
It definitely came away.
Best way to describe
It
it.
was very disappointing, but it's Cudi.
There's
will
songs
always
I
give it a
liked
listen.
off of it. Babe. Like you could tell me, you could take that drop out of history, and I wouldn't lose it.
No one
Like
would.
second to sleep. Yeah. I love the Cudi though.
I love the Cudi. Legend. Not that album though. Also, Worldwide Whack. Tierra Whack finally dropped her debut album.
Did she?
Really
I didn't hear
good.
about that. Okay.
Very good. Got the Beyonce co-sign.
Did she? Ah.
It was a really good album. Like, it was still a Tierra Whack album, which means it's not going to do well. She's very weird. But I do think in terms of, like, female rappers, she's my favorite of them all.
Good to hear.
She's just a spitter. She's just weird. She's honestly like a female Tyler, the Creator.
Mm.
And not like the first half of Tyler, the Creator's career. Like, more like now Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
So I think there's potential there for her to blow up. I don't think it's happened yet, but
I
music
see.
is solid nonetheless. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. Is there anything you've listened to?
Of note,
Underrated?
all right. So the Concrete Boys and Yachty dropped the tape. I like what they were trying to do. I wasn't crazy about the overall tape, but some of the hardest production I've heard all year.
That's always good.
I like to think Caribou definitely shined. I was hoping a little more from Draft Day, but it is what it is. Camo, I didn't really know about you before, but did a good job. Yachty kind of was like clear away the best artist on his tape, but I think he was trying to put his other niggas on. So I see the vision. I like the project for what I got, not so much entirety. Um, things that just come off the. So B.A.B. the Pac-Man dropped the tape. Wasn't my favorite B.A.B. the Pac-Man tape, but I like what we got. But apparently, Drake was supposed to be on it, and the beef started the week before that tape dropped.
Oh, so he was the casualty.
And Drake didn't. Yeah, Drake didn't clear his feature for that tape.
Damn.
And it did not help those numbers. I fully believe it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Benny the Butcher drop. That was actually pretty tough.
Did not listen.
Really good.
Okay.
Really good if you like that hip hop shit, you know.
If you like that rap music.
Like that real rap.
If you like selling drugs at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that was good. Also, I didn't listen to this, but Party Drop.
I did listen to it.
You like
I'm not the craziest Party fan. I always realize that. Like, I like Party in certain lanes. I think this was, I do like Party when he's shit talking. And Party was definitely shit talking on his tape.
Oh, he's rapping?
Not like rapping, but like you can hear he's talking his shit in the songs. And like, I feel like I need to give it another listen. I just never went back for that other listen.
Mm-hmm.
But if you missed Party Next Door, this tape was like therapeutic for you.
Fair enough.
If you didn't, then you kind of just kept it moving.
Two other tapes.
Bryson Tiller dropped. Totally should have forgot that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Calling that
It was
out.
actually not that bad.
I was going to say French Montana drop and Yeet.
We gotta talk about the Yeet tape, bro. We gotta talk about the Yeet tape.
I thought Yeet tape was surprisingly good.
We need to have a conversation about Yeet, where like I don't take him seriously as an artist, but this motherfucker understands sound. Like the way he's able to put songs together, where I'm like, this is somewhat hard.
He has the earwormness of Cardi, mixed with I'd say the songwriting level of like Nav.
He Cardi that don't say nigga, bro.
Right, but also like. I don't like Nav, but it's mostly because of Nav's voice. It really isn't because of Nav's like lyrics or anything. I actually like Yeet's voice. I think Yeet has a good voice.
He absolutely like sounds good on the mic.
So like I actually enjoyed that project.
And the beat selection's there.
It's like candy. You're not getting any substance. You know, it's like a bag of Skittles.
I think Yeet is fun to enjoy. You can't take him too seriously as a hip hop artist, me personally at least. But like, I don't think he deserves the hate that he gets. But like, people always gonna.
I fuck with him. Obviously, we're still waiting on Cardi.
I'm not even talking about Cardi, bro. Cardi not serious as an artist. I'm not gonna take him seriously.
Yeah, and then he drops, and it's amazing.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not saying it. But yeah, any last projects? Let me go back.
I think we're good to. I think last one, Eric the Architect. I don't know if you ever listened to Flatbush Zombies.
I've heard of Flatbush Zombies.
He's the producer of Flatbush Zombies. He did his own solo thing. Even though they're on there. But it's his own solo project.
Okay.
He actually rap. He's pretty good. So
interesting.
Small scale project, not probably in any Spotify playlist, but if you like Flatbush, they're still around. They're not making albums, but they're all making individual projects.
Cool.
So that's my last one.
Good to hear.
I think the last thing that we should talk about
is
our infamous basketball conversations.
I'm sure someone here hates that. Look, if you're not ready for us to go into sports, cut the pod now, bro. It's not for you because we about to spit.
Got it. We appreciate you listening so far.
Good vibes, I like to think
we don't always talk about sports,
but we are going to now.
And so, obviously, just to kind of timestamp where we're at.
What is the timestamp?
We are currently a couple hours away from game 2.
30 minutes, actually. Well, 30?
Damn.
No, because these games don't never fucking start on time. Nah, first note, bro. Why NBA the only sport that don't start on time? What kind of shit is this?
I feel like football the same way.
Nah, bit. 12 o'clock kickoff or 1 p.m. kickoffs be 1 p.m. kickoffs.
I feel like the late night games suffer from it though. I agree with you. The early games don't suffer, but I feel like the late games sometimes they start a little late.
So the 8:20 game starts at 8:25, Nick. That's the worst you're gonna get.
Maybe it's definitely better, but I don't think it. I feel like sports in general sometimes start a little late.
No, just basketball.
NBA is the most egregious.
Just basketball, actually. Baseball games start on time.
I can't speak to baseball.
Baseball games definitely start on time.
I know UFC's weird. Like it'll start.
They're very dependent on how long the prelims go and like earlier fights.
It will start and then we'll get a fucking we'll get a little video of this person's life and
they don't do a good
really
time
up
of filling the time between them, but like in terms of pacing, they usually get to the end time, which is usually about 1 a.m. most of the time.
That's fair.
But no, bro, there's no sport like baseball where they'll say the event starts at 8 and I'm watching it at 8:25.
You mean basketball?
Basketball, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no sport like basketball where they say it's an 8 p.m. tip off and I'm watching them tip off at 8:22 p.m.
It's like going to the movies.
Don't make no.
It
And
really
like
is
no,
very like that.
you know you have to condition yourself. Like the movie don't start at 10:15, but like I gotta mentally be there by 10:15.
I mean, honestly, for me, I like it because it's like okay, it starts at 9. I can get there around like 9:20. You know.
As a person who lives on the East Coast, I got shit to do. I got sleep to catch. Start on time. Start early. Actually, do me that favor. Start at 7:58, please.
Fair enough. But I don't think this is basketball talk we were trying to get into.
No, I had to make that point. That's my tangent. That's my rant, bro.
Talking shit.
Look,
But
let's talk about these playoffs.
So, who besides the Mavs and the Celtics has impressed you in these? Like, who's had like a really, really good showing in these playoffs besides obviously the teams that are still around?
The Timberwolves.
I agree.
The Timberwolves were the most entertaining team in this whole playoff run, period.
It almost became their story for a little bit.
It truly did.
And I feel like
took that next step.
Yeah, they did. I feel like the cart lost its wheels toward the end.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think they were necessarily worse than the Mavericks. I just think that they were already like in a place where it's like a season of success.
It came down to the best players on both teams, respectively, and some of the best players on the T-Wolves did not show up when needed.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And I feel like Ant towards the end kind of tailed off too.
You know what? I feel like the Timberwolves have shown like they can win and Ant not be on his best.
And I also feel like, and I'm not trying to disrespect Ant, he's one of my favorite players. I don't necessarily think he's clutch yet. I don't have proof that he isn't, but I also don't like see him as like, oh, like you can count on him down the line. Like at this point in time in his career.
I think it's not a situation where we've seen it before, but when it comes to that team, I want the ball in his hands to end the game.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying he has to grow into that. Like dudes don't just wake up and become clutch.
We just gotta call it as we see it. Karl Anthony Towns, you gotta help your man's out, bro. Please, somebody, anybody, help him.
I think you can win a championship with Karl Anthony Towns as your second best player, but he cannot have performances like I think it was the game. Was it Game 5?
I know he disappeared.
Like just no show when your team needs you the most. Like I think that he can be that guy. He can be that guy if he's the best 3-point shooting big ever. Like he says, you gotta make him at the right time.
I feel like it's as simple as this, right? He didn't show up this year when they needed him the most. Right. This year's over and done with. If it happens again next year, he gotta go. You need to find a new running mate for Ant.
I mean, I don't know about that.
No, because I feel like you gotta look.
It depends on what you can get for him.
You gotta look at what they did on the other side of things, right? The Mavs searched for the running mate for Luka. They find it. They finally find it. Hey, and where are they?
Let's be honest. They had a running mate for him before.
Kristaps was not it. I'm sorry.
No. They had Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. They fucked that up personally.
Yeah, I was saying they didn't. They already had the. And remember, they made the conference finals with Jalen Brunson.
This is true.
And Luka was out games. And
they fucked up that situation.
Doing what he's doing now.
They fucked up that situation. You gotta call it how you see it. But also, the Knicks got caught up for tampering in that situation. So was it also not like
his dad literally works for the Knicks.
It's not entirely the Mavs' fault, but they were able to find the next best thing, which was Kyrie. And look where they are. I think. You can, and I don't want to count it out just yet, right? Because Ant has a lot going for him in terms of where he is as a player. If he don't come in when they need him next season, you gotta try a new thing. Ant's only going to be in Minnesota for so long, in my humble opinion.
I mean, for sure, unless they're winning.
Yes. I
don't know what you can trade for Karl Anthony Towns where you're getting like, oh, that guy is going to be next.
You got to figure it out. I feel like not everyone's going to be the Mavs, right? Like the Mavs kind of wandered a little blindly before they landed that Kyrie deal. Like they didn't know what the plan was.
I mean,
then they went and had to go get PJ Washington to make it all work.
They made really good trades in the season. Very much. I think the Timberwolves, they had already done all their trades.
They have built a team. And they still have a good team.
They literally made one of the biggest trades in NBA history in terms of the amount of players leaving for that Gobert deal. So it's like they're doing things. I think they have the roster. I just think that...
It's funny because Gobert actually helps this team.
Yeah, I think he is like... He got a lot of flack when that trade first happened. He's redeemed himself.
You just don't feel like you're getting the value for what you're actually
I even thought the criticism he was taking, like, oh, you're the 5th player of the year and can't guard Jokic. Like, One, that's not the defense he plays. No one's ever said he's a great one-on-one defender. No one's ever said that about him. And anybody's getting cooked by this dude.
Yeah, I will say giving him defensive player of the year just seemed kind of questionable. I thought
that was what you can say.
I thought it should make
you gotta give it to the rookie who's gonna be the face.
It's still Wembanyama. I didn't even think because of that. I thought he just had a better year, but nonetheless.
I mean, I think that in terms of he was the best defensive player by the stats. Gobert was. By the stats, he was.
I think if you watch the games, Wembanyama was clearly the better defender.
For sure, but the impact that Gobert had, the team is the literal best defensive team in the league. You know, it's like
I'm not saying it's all because of Gobert, but he helped.
He had a really good year. I thought he had a really good year. I agree with you. Wemby should have won it. Also, I thought that I got to bring my Lakers in.
No, you don't.
I do have to.
You don't really have to.
I thought AD had a good case. I thought AD had a pretty good case for Defensive Player of the Year. I think this was AD's best Laker year.
He was the most games he played as a Laker, I believe.
I think he played 80 games.
79.
It was up there.
Yeah, 79.
It was up there. I was happy for that. As a Laker fan, I was proud. We had the absolute worst matchup that we could possibly get, but them's the breaks. If you don't want a bad matchup, you gotta win more games in the regular season. So I thought that we had a decent season.
Look, can we have a real conversation here? What are we gonna do about the Eastern Conference?
I mean, look,
all love to the Pacers. I never once thought they were gonna beat the Celtics.
This was the first year the Pacers were actually a thing.
Okay,
they're gonna get better. Halliburton's not gonna get worse.
I believe that
is gonna get better.
Do we feel like
I think all their other guys are gonna get better?
Do we feel like the Knicks are gonna be good enough to challenge the Celtics?
Well, the Knicks were missing their second best player, who
aren't they always missing Julius Randle?
For sure, but they were missing him.
Okay, it's like a yearly thing at this point, no?
I mean, sometimes you have him, sometimes you don't.
So now it's really just the Bucks getting a real team together.
The Bucks were the most unlucky team in the playoffs for sure. So it's because they were a contender and they literally lost their best guys.
I didn't even care to really I would watch some of the Eastern Conference player games, but I would put it on and it'd just be on my phone.
I'm telling you, if the Bucks were actually a factor, then you might have watched some more because they were the other team.
It was funny. The Pacers actually played good ball. They just kept folding at the end of their games.
I like the Pacers. They had no business winning the Bucks series. They got you play who's in front of you, but literally not having.
I'm worried.
Questionably the best player in the world on the court is.
And the Celtics have always been the dominant team in this conference for a little bit, right? I'm worried that this isn't going to stop anytime soon.
With the Celtics, just being number one.
There's literally.
I like the Bucks.
The Bucks got to fix a lot.
The Bucks are in win now mode because Damian Lillard's gonna be making $60 million.
They gotta fix a lot, bro.
I don't think they fix anything. They were the second seed.
I'm not arguing with that.
They're the second seed, and they lost Giannis and Dame.
The gap between the Celtics and the Bucks is growing.
I still think they have the best player in that series.
Fair play.
And I would honestly, this is my opinion, I think they have at least third.
Tatum's fourth?
No.
You think Jaylen Brown's fourth?
I think Jaylen Brown's fourth.
I think Jaylen Brown's actually surpassed, in my opinion. If you're putting Dame as the third,
I'm putting Dame as third.
I feel like Jaylen Brown has actually shown me he's a more complete player in today's NBA.
I mean, I think he's had a better run in this playoffs.
It's not like he has.
But history has told me that Jason Tatum is a better player.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm arguing about Dame being third. I think Dame's fourth.
I think I want to see what happens next year because obviously Dame's getting older. I'm saying this year's Dame, what I saw is third in the series.
Okay.
I respect for him. He is getting older, so I can't expect that. And
he don't play defense.
He does not play defense. I think the Bucks they can win a championship next year. It's possible.
Being in the East, yes. But like I said, I think the gap between the Celtics and them is growing.
I think Cleveland is.
I think that's gonna blow up sooner than later.
Why? Who's gonna get traded? Donovan?
Donovan's gonna get out.
I don't know. I feel like they're in the East, so they're automatically you automatically are a top 4 seed.
I think.
And if Donovan goes anywhere else, unless it's look, obviously, if he wants to come to LA,
I'm not gonna argue with y'all. Y'all have a history.
That, where are you going?
Y'all have a history of pulling stars that y'all might not have the team basis to necessarily pull.
Yeah,
but I like to think he's just not. I don't think he's married with the Cleveland market, if that makes sense. He
No,
doesn't
I
resonate there.
agree. I'm just saying from a basketball standpoint, this is a good team.
I'm not arguing that.
They did just fire their coach. So it's like I feel like you fire your coach.
I don't know what the direction is. That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. I don't know if
maybe
their
you letting
team.
him like help with the search. He is, at that age where he's like 27, I assume. Like, right? He has a say somewhat. Because he is their best player.
I think this is my situation where I don't know if that team necessarily takes a step forward this year, nor do they take a step back. And it kind of like leaves them in that ugly space of like you said, they're probably a worse to 4 seed, but they're not going to make it to the conference finals.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're at minimum the 4th best team in the conference.
They're losing to Boston, they're losing to Milwaukee. Pick your choice.
I mean, their guys are still young. I got to see what Garland turns into. I
think we know what Garland is. He's a great player. Don't get it wrong.
22 years old. We don't know.
He's only 22?
He's young.
I feel like he was a little older than that.
He's young.
But I feel like, I don't know, I've seen all the... And it's not a bad player, don't get it wrong. I think we've seen what Garland is, though.
We know Mobley is going to get better.
I hope so. I feel like he's kind of got a Jaren Jackson.
Like, I don't know where... Like, even as a hardcore Laker fan, that is a better situation for Donovan to be in than coming to the Lakers. It just
I'm not arguing
from
that.
A basketball standpoint.
I'm not arguing that.
I think they have a good team. I think you could luck into these conference finals.
If you don't trust that Cleveland team to improve, build, whatever you want to call that situation, right? I could see him leaving for a bigger market. He wants his name in the lights.
I could definitely see him leaving. It's not like I can't see that. I just think a team is going to have to like be presented to him that's like bad. Because I don't think he's trying to just go to he's not trying to go to the Clippers and like just not play. Like, because I don't know. I don't think he's going to just try to go to just
I don't think the situation is presenting itself just yet.
Like going to the West is you guaranteeing yourself you're probably not going to win.
Let a team like Phoenix blow up or something, right?
With what?
Devin Booker might leave, for real.
You saying they're gonna trade them straight up?
I'm saying let a different power team blow up and someone try to rebuild a power team. They could convince Donovan to come over.
It's like I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think the basketball situation there is better than you're giving it credit for.
I played enough 2K where the Wizards make a couple moves, right? I'm telling you, bro, we're gonna end up with this.
That's your first problem, thinking the Wizards are gonna make any moves.
Bro, look, all right, let's focus here. Do you think the Mavs have a chance to win these finals?
I mean, if you made it to the finals, you have a chance.
You ain't answer my question.
Yeah, that means
okay.
Yeah. The problem is they are the worst team. In terms of the individual one-on-one matchups, you have, I think, the best player in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say...
Wait, you think Tatum's better than Luka?
No, the Mavs.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No, I think they have I think the Mavs have the best player in the series.
Fair.
Then I have to go, obviously, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Then Kyrie.
And then it's a whole bunch of Celtics after that. You know? So it's like there's a big gap in between just the skill.
The mountain, or the favors are definitely in the Celtics.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. is not playing. So it's just like,
they're not 100%.
I've seen that man average 20 in a series, and he's just not even a factor.
Yeah.
I don't know who can get a bucket besides Kyrie. They're not getting no lobs because they got a 7'4" guy sitting there making sure that doesn't happen. So to me,
it's a bad matchup overall.
It is the worst matchup they could possibly have. But this was always going to be the case because this was always the Celtics' year to make the finals.
The East has been a joke.
So I don't think anybody's going to blame Luka if he loses. It's not one of those situations.
No. But I think we're all, at least the basketball purists, are cheering for the Mavs. It just seems like the most entertaining outcome.
I want Luka to, because if he does this, I think it might be the best start to a superstar's career. Because if you think about the fact that he's made 5 first teams and he's only been in 6 seasons. That's unprecedented.
Kobe had how many championships by his 5th year?
He had 3, but the problem is, like, he averaged like 18 for one of them. Like, and I love
number-wise, yes.
He's my favorite player, but Kobe was not a superstar until that 3rd championship.
Okay.
That's when it was like, oh, okay, this dude's going to be next level. Luka has been the man from jump.
Yes. The numbers do show that up.
And
I don't think it's a better start than Kobe's, but I see what you're getting at.
the fact that like he's always been good in the playoffs. You've never had a question about him in the playoffs because
He's always been him.
he's always had to play. He played the Clippers like 3 times in his career.
They
It's
hate
like-
him.
He played the Clippers his first playoff series, and it's like he was respectable. And that was when they were obviously like a juggernaut with
Yeah.
Kawhi, Paul. I know it's still there, but they were less hurt back then.
I don't think anyone's gonna believe the story, Nick.
But I thought that Luka played really well. Made a whole bunch. Remember, he made that one buzzer beater.
Sure,
Like
it's not a small number of buzzer beaters for Luka.
he has a lot of buzzer beaters, but that was the
He's
first.
clutch.
One,
He's
that was
always
one of the
been him.
first ones that's like to me like went viral for
I
him.
think Luka's numbers are impressive. I think obviously Kobe did do it by himself, and Luka has genuinely been trying to do it by himself. But like, I can't argue with Kobe's start of his career. It's probably the best start you can ask for in a
I
career.
mean, look, Magic Johnson won a championship in his first season, so it's like I'm not discounting that.
I'm just saying 3 rings in 5 years is crazy.
I'm just saying, like individual stat wise, this dude has been a superstar from
2K
the jump.
numbers, yeah.
And a lot of other guys, it takes a couple years before they like really like Shaq didn't start off
I
with a
think I like to
championship.
think Luka actually reached the superstar stat wise before he reached the superstar status more like playoff experience wise.
Yeah.
Like you could already tell that this guy was going to dominate the league for a while.
Then also, I think I don't know, like obviously we can't know players' mindsets, but I do think there is an element of the Celtics have a lot of pressure to win this title. Like there is a level of like you've put this team together. The core of it has been together for a little while now.
Yeah.
You keep like you knocking at the door. You're right there every time. I feel like another L is not good for this core.
Look, we're going to call it how we see it, Nick. Game 2 starts in 15 minutes. How does this series end?
I think it ends in 6 games. I think the Celtics win in game 6.
Celtics, game 5.
5 games?
5.
I mean, I can see that too. I think that Luka's gonna get you a game just off the will.
You know, I like to think Kyrie and Luka going to act up just
Right.
once.
I think that either one of them is liable to go off. I just don't think they're gonna do it for 4 games to
Celtics
win
game
the
5.
series.
Kristaps is actually healthy and balling. It's a wrap.
So I think we have the same
That's
unfortunate
it.
prediction, but
That's
we'll
life.
see. And look, good for Jason Tatum. You know, I fuck with Jason Tatum heavy, but you know, I don't like the Celtics.
I got no dog in this fight.
Yeah.
No
It's
interest.
good-
I would say shout out to
it's good basketball, though.
Joe Mazzulla for proving the haters wrong.
I fuck with him. I think that he got a bad rap because he
True.
has that little deadpan humor thing.
I think it's because he was handed a great situation and kind of folded it at first, but he was obviously going against a really good team in the Warriors. And from here on out, he's been trying to prove himself. And I
he
think
wasn't the coach with the Warriors.
wasn't he?
No. That was Udoka. He got into the finals. Then that summer,
That's
Udoka
when
did
the
the
scandal
yeah,
happened. I
and
think
then
it's crazy.
and then he was the coach last year where they were down 3-0 to the Miami Heat, and they won 3 straight games,
And then they
almost
lost.
made
Oh, wow.
history, and lost.
I swear he was.
And they
the
would've
one
made the
for
finals with
Warriors. Either way, he has a bad rap for what I feel like is a very little reason to have a bad rap.
I
But,
don't. If he's not a good coach, I don't know who is. Like
I like to see that he's proven himself, and I'm happy about that.
also first. I think it's one of the first times we had 2 black head coaches in the finals, which is cool.
Apparently, they're questioning Jason Kidd's blackness.
I mean, I feel like it was questioned before, and the answer's already been given.
I'm not gonna argue with nobody, but I like to think that is it. Any final thoughts on the pod, Nick?
I think it was a good welcome back. It's good to be back.
You know, it's always good to be
You know,
back.
I was worried that we were gonna get an error on the thing, been eyeing it. You know, it's been a while, but I think
Nick,
we,
do not jinx it. Just end the pod.